Pasta salad is something that you can find at every cookout, family function, and deli across America. And if we're being honest, it's usually pretty average at best. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to make it. This is my recipe for pesto pasta salad. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen.
I like it.
At every cookout you need that. Not a cookout without it.
Somebody will trick it up.
Not no more, they got this video.
All right, people, pesto is the star of the show here, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit biased because I love basil, and basil pesto obviously is adding a lot of flavor to this pasta salad. We have plenty of fresh basil here, 2 cloves of garlic that I'm going to give a rough chop to just so we can be confident that it's going to blend and emulsify nicely into the pesto sauce. We want even distribution on the garlic. Don't want any little bitter bites in there with big chunks of garlic. So I'm going to give it a rough chop, make sure it blends up nicely. We got some pine nuts, so just be careful for anyone that has a nut allergy in the house. If you're serving this, just be cautious of that. My wife, for example, has a nut allergy, but it's more so for cashews, and she's good with pine nuts. So that's why we usually make it with pine nuts. But it's really good with cashews as well for those of you guys without the allergies. So I'm going to rough chop the garlic, and then we're going to rough chop the basil as well. All you need for this is a food processor or a NutriBullet. Anything like that will get the job done here. We're using a blender today. Rough chop on the garlic and then a rough chop on the basil as well. We've got the water boiling in the back for the pasta. You want to make sure you heavily salt your pasta water. Add a little more salt than you probably think it needs. That's important. You want to really get some good flavor and some good salt on that pasta. That way each bite of pasta salad has some flavor. That's my biggest gripe about pasta salad at most cookouts. Doesn't really taste like much. You're kind of relying on the pepperoni and the cheese and whatnot to do all the work. But with this one, each bite's gonna be packed with flavor. All right, so one thing that I like to add to my basil pesto, particularly when it comes to the pasta salad, is a little bit of parsley, mostly for the color, because parsley is gonna keep it nice and bright. I don't want like a brown looking pesto if you can avoid it. Obviously the fresher the basil, the better. But we're gonna add a little parsley for some fresh herb flavor, but mostly to keep it nice bright green. All right, so we got the pine nuts in there, we got the basil in there. We're gonna go ahead and blend it till it's coarse and then slowly drizzle in the olive oil, followed by the garlic, lemon juice, and the Parmesan cheese. All right, guys, so now we're gonna talk about the ingredients that are going inside the pasta salad. I like to use a shallot for this because it's a little bit milder and sweet than like a red onion. It's got a little more bite to it. But use whatever onion you like. I'm going with shallot today. We're also using some fresh mozzarella, some cherry tomatoes, and sun-dried tomatoes. Sun-dried tomatoes, I just love them. That's kind of, don't got a really good reason other than the fact I think they're delicious. So we're gonna go with some sun-dried tomatoes and of course some pepperoni. You can use salami, any kind of cured meat like that you commonly find in a pasta salad is a good option for this one. We're keeping it simple today with just pepperoni. Same thing with the cherry tomatoes. We're just gonna cut these in half. Kind of wanted to be bite-sized pieces. We're using bowtie pasta today, so just kind of think about what fits on the fork together. Real simple. We'll chop down any of these larger pieces. We might cut into thirds. When it comes to the pepperonis, we'll cut them in half as well. If you got the larger pepperonis, you might need to cut them into quarters. Just use your best judgment on what fits on the fork together, and that's going to be a pleasurable bite. Next up, it's time to assemble our pasta salad. So you want to make sure a couple of things. One, your pasta is cooked al dente, so just follow the package instructions on that. You salted your pasta water, you drained it, and most importantly, you allow it to cool to at least room temperature, particularly when you're working with something like a pesto or really any pasta salad, really, because they're all mostly oil-based. If an oil-based sauce hits hot pasta, it's going to separate, and you want to avoid that. You can kind of already see there's a lot of olive oil here pooling at the top, so you want to kind of mix that in. That's common and it's normal, so don't freak out if you see that. Just give it a good mix. We'll toss that in with the pasta as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding in our ingredients. So we got the sun-dried tomatoes. That's going to add a little bit of sweetness, a little acidity as well. We got the cherry tomatoes, which will add a nice bright red color and some freshness. And then we got the shallot, which is going to act as our onion. You can add more vegetables to this too, guys. If you want to add cucumbers and things like that, that's a great option for you. Totally customizable. Zucchini, cucumbers, You know, whatever you're feeling, whatever you got in the fridge or the garden. If you're one of those folks with a garden, I'm kind of jealous. I kind of let mine go. Really, honestly, the birds and stuff ate all my stuff. But that's a conversation for another day. I'm still upset about that. All right, so we got all our ingredients in. I'm going to get in there with my hands and just kind of give it a rough mix. And then we'll start to add in the pesto. And then we'll top it with some more cheese. Let it cool for an hour or two. You're going to have yourselves a delicious pesto pasta salad. Last but not least, got to add the fresh mozzarella. I like to find the mozzarella balls like this just because it fits the salad perfectly with the bow tie pasta. This is an 8-ounce container, so that's about what we're using today. Fresh is best, guys, for sure, but you can cube up the block cheese if that's all you got. Just going to fold that in. We also have a little bit of salad seasoning, or you can use taco seasoning if you're in a pinch. A lot of the flavors are similar. A little celery salt and some AP seasoning. Give everything a mix to combine, season to taste, adjust to your preference as always. If you want to spice it up, you can hit it with some red pepper flakes or some cayenne. I don't really want it to be too spicy, but some red pepper flakes would be nice here. Just going to fold all of that in. If you want to hit it with some fresh Parmesan, be my guest. But that, my friends, is looking good. If it ends up being a little bit too dry, add more pesto sauce or a little bit of olive oil, and you'll be good to go. You see the noodles are coated perfectly. Got good distribution on the pepperoni and the tomato. And I think we're just about where we want to be. I'm going to pop that in the fridge, let it cool. And this will be perfect for your next barbecue. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and plate this up now that it's chilled for a couple hours in the fridge. This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, this is looking good to me. You got your bright green from the basil and the pesto. You got the pepperoni. We got good chunks of mozzarella in there. Got the sun-dried tomato. I'm trying to give me a bite of everything. Come on, one tomato. Don't shortchange me now. Here we go. Y'all gotta try this one. My recipe for pesto pasta salad. Meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen.
You know what I hate about pasta salad?
What?
All the flavor soaks to the bottom.
Yeah, if
But
there
with
is
the
flavor.
pesto, it kind of coats the noodle.
Yeah. It's usually just not flavorful.
It's ass.
Yeah.
The only thing that's flavorful be the shit that's in it, like pepperoni
toppings, yeah.
or like the actual dish.
Yeah, I usually eat it with a spoon because I leave the noodles behind.
It's probably one of the worst salads.
On average, yeah. Like when it's good, it's good.
It's never good.
Sometimes it's
No,
good.